But I hate budgeting. Okay, but what matters more to you? Budgeting or bankruptcy? You spent all last year grinding, working harder, taking on more clients. You've raised prices and you've added all these new offers and products. But guess what? It still ain't enough. Now listen, your bank account barely stays above the minimum balance and pressure is mounting on you. And the freedom that you thought you had, the freedom that you thought that more money would bring, none of that stuff ever showed up. And the most painful part is this. You don't know why it's like this, right? Because by all intents and purposes, you are doing everything right, right? Revenue should equal profit, right? But the truth is, it don't, right? More money didn't fix last year. And you're finding out very quickly that moving that needle is not doing that for you this year either, right? But there is something that you're missing that could solve this whole thing. And what I want you to do is I want you to stick around because what I'm going to share in the next few minutes might be the most important thing that you'll hear all year. Now, before I get into this, I need you to understand something. This problem, it don't discriminate. It don't matter how much you're making. It shows up at every level. I've seen it with business owners doing $5,000 a month. I've seen it with business owners doing $50,000 a month. And I've even seen it with business owners doing $500,000 a month. The thing is, more money is still the same problem, and it happens every time. But the most powerful example I've ever witnessed was a business owner who thought she was doing everything right on the outside. I mean, revenue was coming in. Business was steady. People around her thought she had it figured out. But in 9 months, she lost almost $2 million. Not because her business failed. And it wasn't even because she had bad products or even bad clients. What it was because she didn't have a system to manage what was coming in. And because of that, the dreams that she had, they turned into a disaster like a Porsche that goes from 0 to 60. So let's unpack this. There was this lady who owned a business, and for a few years, her revenue was steadily in the 500 to 600K range. However, she had no idea what her numbers were after expenses, let alone cash flow. She never took the time or made the priority to even focus on any of this stuff, right? Because her thinking was that since money was steadily coming in, she must be doing okay. Well, fast forward to 2021, and she received a major boost from the federal government, almost $2 million in COVID funding. But instead of just taking the time to ensure that a system was in place to manage this money, this lady decided to treat this money as profit, just like most small business owners. If you're watching this, you probably can relate. She paid off her house. She bought 2 brand new vehicles. She took trips, new clothes, expensive jewelry. Then she went and opened up 4 new businesses. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And listen, it all seemed good until 9 months later when she ran out of money and she was one major disaster away from shutting all her businesses down. Almost 20 years of hard work down the drain. It's now to the point where she's ended up taking out another mortgage on her house just to keep the business running. All because she did not take the time to establish a system to manage her money up front. And the painful truth is this. If somebody would have just shown her this system sooner, that $2 million would have still been there because she would have understood that she was breaking an unwritten rule in the wealth building process. Now, listen, she ain't got a revenue problem. She has a management problem. And management problems, they have management solutions. So my name is Coach Mac, and I use a 5-step system to show you how to build a business that pays you consistently. When it comes to money, every dollar that comes into your business has to go through a process. And that process is called manage your money. And it has 3 parts. The first part is direct cost. These are the costs that are directly related to the sale of the product or service that you're providing. For this lady, it will be whatever supplies, labor, and payroll, and any other materials that she's using in producing the sales that she received. The next part, number 2, will be overhead. These are the costs of actually keeping your business running. For this lady, it will be things like rent, utilities, software, insurance. That simple, right? So let's put a pin right there. Most people would stop here and celebrate success because on paper, it would seem as if you made it because you may have money left over. And for this lady, she did on paper. Her previous CPAs, they sent her several reports. Congratulations, you made profit. And her tax return showed that she owed for multiple years. 6-figure profits, thousands in taxes owed, thousands in taxes paid. But yet, I took a look at her bank account when she finally worked with me, and before the $2 million hit, let me tell you what I noticed. I noticed that her running bank account balance never got past $10,000. I mean, not even once. So what happened? What happened was, for years, she treated revenue as profit, and she was using her business as her personal bank account. So when the $2 million hit, it was no surprise what happened there because it was already her normal practice. I got money now, more money than I have ever seen. And this money is going to continue to come when I open up 4 other businesses. That is the mindset she had. She didn't understand that revenue is vanity, profit is opinion, and cash flow is reality. When you don't have a system to manage your money, what you're doing is this. You're taking a molehill type of an issue and you're literally turning it into a mountain of disaster. What should have happened first is, instead of paying off that house immediately, buying those new cars, buying the clothes, and starting up all those 4 different businesses, what should have happened was this. She should have took her money through the third part and made what we call a controlled spending plan. Now, listen to this. Watch this. This is what a controlled spending plan is. It's a plan to prevent one of the top reasons that small businesses fail. That's running out of money due to the owner using the business as their personal checking account. A spending plan allows you to see ahead of time where your money weaknesses are, and it shows you what to do to prevent it in advance. So, how do you create this spending plan? Well, you got to start with a way to organize your money after it comes out of the management system. And to organize that controlled spending, I use a 4-account system called ROAD. Yes, ROAD, ROAD. It's 4 accounts, R for receive income, O for owner pay, A for allocating for savings and taxes, and D to distribute the rest. Now, the way the system works is we want to first have income to only come to the receive account, nowhere else. And we want to do that for 7 days straight. And after 7 days, we will start to drop money into the other accounts, with the exception of $100. Now, the 7th day is what we're going to call the bucket day. So like, for example, if you choose your bucket day to be every Friday, then all the money that is deposited into your account from Saturday until that Friday will be locked into your receive account. And in the meantime, your job will be to figure out some things between those 7 days. Things like how much you're going to pay yourself that week, how much you're going to allocate for savings and taxes, and basically the last thing is what is needed to cover your expenses for that week. So the important thing is that we're doing this every week so that we can monitor our cash flow. Let's say you brought in $5,000 this week. And just for the purposes of this demonstration, you're going to pay yourself $1,000 to cover your personal expenses. You're also going to save another 20% or $1,000 if we do the math. And what that's going to do is that's going to cover your savings and taxes at the end of the year. Now, since we're going to leave $100 in the receive account to cover bank fees, that means that we have another $2,900 this week to cover your remaining business expenses. Now, I'm going to say this very slowly because I want you to pay attention to this part. It's very, very important. Zoom in here or watch me here. If you were bringing in a steady income of $5,000 every week, by the end of the year, this is what you would have. If you follow this system, this is what you would have. You would have $52,000 that you would have paid to yourself. You would have another $52,000 saved for emergency and your taxes. And then lastly, you would have had about $150,800 to cover your operating expenses. Now, watch this. As long as you manage your money, this method will ensure that you have more money than you can imagine by the end of the year. Okay, let's get back to the lady in this example. If she would have used ROAD, she would have had a 52-week snapshot of exactly where her money is going. Not a guess, not a hope, but she would have had a real week by week picture of not only what her money looks like this week, but even in future weeks to come. And that picture, it would have shown her something critical. It would have shown her that her spending was faster than her cash flow. And she would have known that before it became a crisis. You see, that's what a system does. It does that more than money never could, right? Because it shows you what you have. It shows you what you're spending. It shows you what needs to be adjusted. And it does it all before it's too late. And if she would have had that weekly forecast in front of her, then guess what? She would have seen the warning signs coming. She could have pumped the brakes on those 4 businesses. She could have waited to pay off the house. And she would have had money to save for cash, emergencies, and taxes. She could have preserved almost 20 years of hard work. But she didn't have the forecast, so she couldn't see it coming. And that's exactly why I say making more money ain't ever going to fix her problem. Because more money in a system with no controls is just more money that you're going to lose faster. But here's what changes when you have a system in place. Every week on your bucket day, you focus on the road. You look at what's supposed to come in. You look at what's supposed to go out. And then you look ahead a few weeks to see what those numbers look like. And if something is off, you adjust it before it becomes a problem. I want you to notice something. I put the emphasis on the word before, not after, not when the account is empty, not when the pressure is unbearable, but before. Again, before. Listen, the best business owners stay on top of their money while everybody else just hopes that it works out. And that's why the road system is elite when it comes to managing your money. I don't know of another system that does what this one does, but that's just the power of having a system, period. Because systems don't just tell you where your money went. They tell you where it's going, and they give you the chance to change course while you still can. So let me ask you something. Are you her right now? Are you him right now? Are you one bad month away from having to take out a second mortgage on your house to keep your business going? Are you using one account to run your business and your life? You can't tell the difference between your operating and living expenses? If that's you, I need you to listen to me right now. The scary part is most people who are at this place don't even know it yet. They still think more money is the answer. They still think the next customer is going to fix it. They still think the next product launch is going to change everything. But now you know the truth. More money ain't the answer. A system is. So here's what I need you to do right now. I need you to make a decision. Not tomorrow, not after the next good month, not when things slow down. I need you to make the decision right now. Because every week you wait, that's another week that your money is going somewhere that you didn't tell it to go. But I hate budgeting. Okay, but what matters more to you? Budgeting or bankruptcy? All I know is one's going to save you and the other's going to destroy you. So if budgeting is that hard for you, then let's just go ahead and start to plan your early retirement party because it's been real and your time's almost up. Now, if you're ready to do the hard work, and it's going to be hard, but I want you to imagine waking up every morning and you know exactly what's in your account. I want you to imagine having a whole year forecast sitting in front of you that shows you exactly what's coming in, exactly what's going out, and exactly where you need to make adjustments before a problem even shows up. And even if a problem shows up, you got 5, maybe 6 figures put away in an account that can easily handle it. And the things that you used to call disasters are now just called disappointments because you got the funds to handle them quickly now. Imagine never being surprised by a tax bill ever again. Imagine paying yourself every week without guilt. Imagine being able to look at your numbers and actually understand what they mean. My friend, that's not a dream. That is literally what a system does. And if you're ready to build that system, then everything you need is inside my book, Built to Pay You, because you ain't worked this hard to stay broke. The link is in the description. Go get it. Now, before you go, I need you to do 3 things right now to show a commitment to yourself. The first thing I need you to do is like and share this video. because somebody in your circle is literally one step away from disaster and they don't even know it. Send this to them before it's too late. The next thing I need you to do is I need you to subscribe to this channel at CFO Coach Mac so you never miss the content that change how your business pays you. And finally, get a copy of this book. Even if it ain't for you, sow a seed into somebody else that may need it. Click on the link in the description and let us get you started. I want you to remember this. Your business is designed to serve others, but it is built to pay you. And if your business is not paying you, then I encourage you and I highly expect to hear from you soon. Until next time, this is Coach Mac signing off.